Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Dragon Actuarial. So today's topic, as you've seen in the thumbnail, who wins, knowledge versus paper? I think this is one of the eternal debate which is made more popular by me. What is more important? Knowledge is important or paper is important? Recently, I also conducted a poll where people have replied. A lot of people have replied on this and on that poll. So who actually wins? What happens? What if you compare someone who has great knowledge but no paper, but someone who has all the paper but with very limited knowledge? What happens? Who wins? Right? So today we are going to find the answer for that. Let's move on without any delay. So before I start this, I'll start with a quote. Now, this is not from any world famous personality or anything, but this quote is from my own elder brother. He is a DFO, District Forest Officer. He works in West Bengal. So the quote that he mentioned, and this is one of the iconic quote that I always remember. I always go by this quote, and that is also my dream to be the field that I'm passionate about, like actually trading, etc. The field that I'm passionate about, I should be like, this is the code that can shape my life in that field, right? So the difference, what he says is the difference between the first and the best. First means who comes first in the class, maybe, or who is the topper, etc. Right? So difference between first and the best. First is the person who scores more than the second, right? So if there is a class of 49 people or 50 people, the person who is scoring more than the second is obviously the first person, right? But who is best? Best is the person who against whom, if everyone gangs up, right? Like in that class, if out of 50 people 49 gangs up against that person, the best would still win, and he or she will win with a smile and ease. That's the definition of best, right? Best is someone who everyone is look up to. First is someone who is just scoring more marks, right? And not necessarily best would be the first. There might be people, and there are number of examples in the real world where people who are not that good in academics turn out to be better than those people who are scoring lot many marks, right? And we every time in April, June, we'll be hearing about stories of people who have scored 99.99%, 100%. Some even score more than 100% these days. And those people after 10 years, 20 years are nowhere to be found, right? But people who have scored average like 70%, 80%, they might start their own company, they might be known, right? In fact, all the maybe the great personalities or CEOs of the company, probably very few of them were actually toppers. So very important to understand that your goal is not to be the first, right? Where people get misconstrued, and probably where people get confused that I have to be first. No, your goal is not to be first, your goal is to be the best, because if you're best, then even first person is also looking up to you. Moving on. So as I mentioned, the eternal debate, knowledge versus paper. Now knowledge is obviously important, but paper is also important at the start, because if you don't have paper, right, you would not be maybe shortlisted for a job or some opportunity, right? Or you are saying, like, people might think you are a loudmouth, you just talk big but you do not have anything to back that up, right? And you can also show like this is something which is quantifiable. Paper is something that is quantifiable. Knowledge is not quantifiable. You can say that I have great knowledge, right? But that cannot be quantifiable. But paper is quantifiable. That is why society, because society likes to accept things which are simple, and paper, as it can be quantifiable, people would like to accept paper, right? So that's the eternal debate. But let's move on. So why is there so much stress on paper, especially in today's world? Because I do take a lot of interviews, we have to hire people for our company, and then we do see a lot of people who have scored very good marks. Like recently I met someone who has scored 76 in CM1, and when I appeared for that paper, then it was called CT5, I did not even attempt 76. I attempted only 73 or something, and I cleared the paper. I remember every concept in that paper, right? But that person scored 76. I asked him the definition of reserve, he cannot tell. I He also told me that term has maturity benefit, right? He also told that term is the highest premium. Something, if you are follower of this YouTube channel, I hope you understand and you are probably laughing at that answer. But yet he has scored 76, right? So where are the issues, and why we can't say that paper is equivalent to knowledge? Because that should be the ideal representation, right? Because if you are clearing a paper, obviously you are gaining some knowledge, but why that is not being reflected when you are asked questions, when you are given practical situations, why that is not being reflected? I think the main issues that lies there, why you cannot equate paper with knowledge, is this. The main issue is coaching center, because they are just telling student to memorize formulas, to memorize patterns, to memorize questions, and when the student are seeing those type of patterns, questions, etc., they are reproducing the answers, right? And then they are getting marks, especially in the online format. Because there is a restriction on typing, etc., the level of question has gone down, right? So this kind of pattern and easier questions are helping people to pass the paper, but they're not building the knowledge for the paper. And the people just forget that this is a professional exam. This is not a class 10 exam, this is not a class 12 exam, this is a professional exam where what you have learned, that you are supposed to remember and use in your practical work. But people, because people forget about that, they cannot probably reproduce those when it is most required, right? Another issue is online exam. So I have heard reports of people who are sitting in a group to passing exam because the exam has become online. By that way they are scoring good marks like 76, right? But they are not rating the knowledge because it is someone else who is clearing the paper for them. Or might be if you are sitting in a group, then you are getting the right answer from number of people, right? 10 people can obviously give better answer than one people, but if you are alone, then you will be exposed. So that is another main issue. Another issue is filtering criteria, because paper, as I mentioned, paper is used as a filtering criteria. The job description usually has need to clear 3 papers, 4 papers, 5 papers, right? So then there is mainly stress on papers and not on knowledge. So people say, if I can clear papers, 3 papers, 4 papers, then I'm eligible for the job, right? So that is why there is a more stress on paper, but not on retaining the knowledge of that paper. People want to clear more and more papers. Also, because of our childhood, the way the Indian education system is designed, you want to clear papers, you want to score good marks, right? That is glamorized in the society. So that's how it works, right? And the final point is, as right now there is a show up trend in LinkedIn and other social media sites, that if you are clearing paper, you are sharing that. And earlier it was only your close family and friends who are kind of celebrating your success, but these days you are celebrating your success to the world by kind of doing that, right? So that is also one thing, like people see others and they also want to do that. So that's why when they clear a paper, they will come up and say, I have cleared this paper, without considering whether they have sufficient knowledge from that paper or they have just cleared the paper, right? So these are the main issues. So what you need to do, what you need to do is pass papers. Obviously that is very very important, right? In actuary, you are not an actuary until and unless you have cleared 15 papers. You will not become actuary just because of knowledge, right? Till now it is not possible, right? So you have to pass papers, right? But there are other things that you need to do, right? First of all, you have to build knowledge, right? Now the question is, how can you build knowledge, right? Because actually being such a niche field, there are not many articles written in the Google or website. Like you will be struggling to get good quality things which are not simple, which are simple, and which are explained in a simplified manner, right? That is why I started my YouTube channel, so that I can take a topic and explain it thoroughly, so that anyone, it is easy for anyone, even a 80-year-old person can understand my video, so and can relate to that, right? That's what my goal was when I started my YouTube channel. So obviously we can build knowledge through jobs, because in jobs you will be exposed, right? You would require that knowledge. You cannot sit in a group and pass an exam. Your 76, your 106, your 86 does not matter. In job you require proper knowledge, which you have to recollect from the material that you have studied, right? And over a period of time, when you are exposed to similar kind of jobs, then you already retain that concept. So then you need not go back and check the material. But obviously you need to retain 100% of your knowledge, especially for CMO and CS2. These are the papers where you will be required to retain most of his knowledge. Around 80% of that, those papers knowledge needs to be retained. Also, through you can gain knowledge through seminar and experienced people. Now there are many people. Now by experienced people, I don't mean the number of years. Like there are many people who, like suppose someone was born 20 years before you, right? That person would always have 20 years of more experience than you, or maybe 15 years of more experience than you. But that does not mean that that person is experienced. Experience means handling different scenarios and coming out of those scenarios, have handling difficult scenarios and coming out of those difficult scenarios, taking enormous amount of responsibilities. Like Spider-Man uncle said, with great power come great responsibility, right? It can also be said in the reverse direction. Like when you assume responsibility, you will achieve great power. So that's how you have to learn. So you have to choose people, right? Not everyone is knowledgeable. Not every, like as I mentioned, not every fellow is knowledgeable, right? That's the unfortunate truth, especially in today's world. So you have to figure out, found out experienced people, and you have to learn from them, right? And nobody in this world will tell you, no, no, I will not help you. Everyone is there to help you, right, in their capacity, in their time. So you have to choose the correct person. And especially the seminars that are organized by IAI, IFOA, etc., those you can attend, to gain knowledge. Some seminars might be difficult to understand, some seminar might be too easy to understand. In some seminar the conceptual clarity may not be there, right? So all these things are part and parcel, but you need to have that aptitude to understand, right, to know about something, to develop that extra thing other than the paper, other than clearing the paper. So moving on, right? So what are the upcoming things that you probably can build your knowledge? The first thing is IFRS 17, right? IFRS 17 consists of multiple things. CSM, what is CSM? It is unearned profit. What is unearned profit, right? It's very difficult to explain in this video, in a single video. There can be dedicated video for CSM. Insurance component, investment component. If you have not heard about this, then right, and you will not hear about this from paper, right? It's impossible. Your paper is written in a generalized manner, but these are the things that are upcoming. These are the things that you require in a job, right? And that's why you need to understand that loss component, LRC, LIC, what are this, why they are used. These are the things that you have to be acquainted with along with your paper. These are the things you need to know, right? Moving on, these are the models that IFRS 17 have: GMM, VFA, PA. For what products GMM is used, or for what products VFA used. Surprisingly, I've met people who have cleared CM1, and they don't know what are the types of life insurance products. So if they don't know that, how can they understand this, right? So these are the things that will make you excel in job. These are the things that will help you clear the job interviews, right? And these are the things which will help you promote in your get promotion in your job. These are the things that are required, right? And what is more important is IFRS 17 is still not applicable in India, but I think the tentative date is 1st April 2026, from which IFRS 17 would be applicable. I'm not sure about the date, but I heard that 2026 would be the date. Remaining 90% countries in the world would be moving to IFRS 17, or would have already moved into IFRS 17 from 1st Jan 2023. So we are already in the IFRS 17 regime for rest of the countries, right? So imagine if you have knowledge on IFRS 17, right? Obviously, 3 years down the line, 2 years down the line, how precious your CV would become, right? Because you are only one of the few people who have knowledge of about IFRS 17, right? So that's where you need to start building your knowledge. You can clear papers, right? But IFRS 17 will not be part of that paper, or maybe in very limited amount, and that will not help you, right? So you have to build your knowledge on IFRS 17. Another thing that might help you is GGY axis or profit, especially in life insurance. The difference that lies between an experienced person and a fresher is the actual software, right? Because here you need to see the bigger picture, right? That is the, as I mentioned, this is the main difference between fresher and experience. An experienced person has understood the software, or he or she can debug on their own. He or she can see the bigger picture, because that is what is important, right? When you are at a senior level, the people who are junior to you, they will get stuck at a problem and they will come to you, and it is your responsibility to solve the problem, right? So for that, you need to see the bigger picture. This variable is not producing the correct result. Okay, so what is the approach should I use? Should I switch up this variable and see how the impact is happening for only for this variable? There are multiple approaches, right? So that you have to understand, and that you can only gain through experience, right? And for that, you need to have exposure to GGO Access Profit, which unfortunately you can't do, right? Because this is an enterprise level software. Yeah, it costs lakhs and lakhs of rupees. You can't purchase this, and you also require server based CPU, because otherwise your no personal computer can have this, right? Because it will require tremendous computing ability. So you cannot do that, right? Another thing, jobs related question answer. So your paper will not help here, right? What gives you promotion? Knowledge. This is where knowledge surpasses paper, right? Paper is required to get into a job, but in order to excel in that job you require knowledge, like IFRS 17, like GGO axis, right? So people who already have the knowledge of IFRS 17, who already know profit of GGO axis, are one step ahead in getting the promotion, right? And people who are new and but they have cleared 10 papers, 12 papers, 13 papers, they would be one step behind, because the company is not gaining from you, right? And the basis of giving you a salary, maybe a higher salary, would be you are required to pay probably double the amount in effort and time to the company, right? Because it's a business. Why would someone pay you 100 rupees if you cannot get that person 150 rupees, right? That's business. That's the basis of business. So it always depends on your knowledge, time management, and if you can earn revenue for the paper, right? The CEO earns maximum in the company. Why? Because the CEO is earning the revenue for the company. It is his vision that is generating the money for the company, right? So that's what gives you promotion. That's what makes you excel in job, not papers, right? This is where this is like paper gets you to the job, but when you are in the job, you need to focus on papers. And if you can do that before the job, imagine the power. Like you have cleared maybe 9 papers, 10 papers when you are 20, 22 years, and you also have the knowledge which others don't have because they are not focusing on that, right? So you are someone who with both the skill, and you will always be revered and respected. So what also is what you also need to know is what is expected of you. There is obviously corporate politics. Not everyone will let you succeed. Not everyone will be happy with your success. So you have to know, understand that, right? And also how you can probably stand apart from the herd, right? There are too many people at your designation, especially at the lower level. So how you can be the only person who would be different, right? These are the things that you need to think about, and that is where your paper would not help. Your common sense might come into picture. Someone else who is more experienced than you, that person might help you, but paper would not help you there. Another thing I personally like I also have a trading channel. So like we most of the people I have, all, if they say it or they don't say it, they are in the actual field because they've heard about 1 crore package. They know that actual field can pay you 1 crore package. While that is a reality, but in reality that very few people will get there. And you need, once again, knowledge. You will not get to 1 crore package by paper, right? There are too many people with fellowship degree, but they are not close to 1 crore package. They know within themselves that probably if they are given a difficult problem, they would require help, right? So only knowledge will get you to the one crore package. However, how what if I say you that tell you that if you can also start earning from home, have yourself as the boss, right? How about opening your own business and become a millionaire 30? You can do that, or do all of that with trading, investment, stock market. These are the things that only 4% or 5% of the Indians are doing. Rest are too afraid of it. Most of the people who operate in the stock market, they operate for investment. Like they put some money now and then they wait for 10 years, right? And that time has gone by. Like that time of growth when everything was kind of new. Invention will still happen, like chat GPT, etc. Invention will still happen, but it will not be at the pace that it has happened in last 10 years. So now if you're investing, inflation will probably catch up to you. But the way you can make more money is through trading. That way, whether the market goes up, market goes down, that like you, there is no problem with that. And the simple mathematics to make money is when you are gaining, you gain 50 rupees, right? And when you're losing, you are losing 30 rupees. So suppose in 5 days you are gaining 50 rupees three times, like 60% winning rate. So 50 into 30, that would be 1500, right? And you are losing 30 twice. So sorry, 50 into 3, that is 150, and 30 into 2, that is 60. You are gaining 90 rupees. At the end of the week, you are profitable, right? And it is said that only 1% trader in the world, not India, world, only 1% trader in the world is profitable, right? And by if you are an actuary, you're already lying in that 1%, because number of actuaries are so less, right? And in actuary, you are learning risk management, and that's all you need to know in trading, right? Why? Because if you are not making loss, then it's obvious that you will make profit. Making profit is very, very easy in stock market. It's retaining that profit that is, difficult, right? And it all, you also require psychology and everything else. So what if I tell you that all these four topics, IFRS 17, GGO access, jobs related Q&A, actual trading. So what if I tell you that I am conducting a seminar where not only me, there will be another person, where all these four topics will be discussed, right? Obviously, we cannot go into extreme detail, but we'll go into some detail where that knowledge, if you have that, zeal for earning or zeal for learning, sorry, not earning, zeal for learning, then you would be benefited tremendously by this, right? So what if I tell you that that seminar is being conducted, that seminar is conducted on 22nd of June. You can see the description of this video. You'll see everything that is there, and you can probably register for that, right? And I also have a video for that. So you can also find the link for that video in my description, in the description of this video. These are the topics that will be covered in that seminar: IFRS 17, GMM, actual software basics, jobs related Q&A, actual trading, right? And I have also given the time period. So this would be around 8 hours seminar. So if you can give 8 hours to satisfy your zeal of knowledge, right, then I think that you will develop that mindset, right? And obviously you learn something from this, and yeah, I mean, that will augment, like that way you can create your approach of passing paper alongside developing your knowledge, right? And these are also things that are not done usually. Like usually you will see something related to passing paper or something related to one particular topic, but IFRS 17, I hardly believe that very few people would be having proper knowledge on that. I actual software GGO access, I don't think in the world there is a seminar on profit or GGO access, right? So I think if you come to that seminar, you will understand a lot, and will get a flavor of what you need to do in real life after you are done with clearing papers, so that you can excel, right? To, as I mentioned, to stand apart from the herd. So it is not a free seminar, obviously, because it will take, like discussing all this topic, preparing for all this topic would take a lot of hard work and pain from our side. So I think, and also to kind of only invite the serious people, not someone who is just there to for the sake of it. So it will be done offline, so that we can, physically interact. And the fees that I've set is 2500. Now, for some people, they might think, okay, the 2500 is too high. I am not earning 2500, but the fact is, you spend 2500 maybe, like every month. Maybe if you are going out, right, you are spending 2500 just like that. Only when you are talking about knowledge, you think, oh, no, no, I want knowledge for free only, right? So for that also, I have something like, if you attend the seminar after paying 2500, and you think that, no, my time was wasted, I did not learn anything, this was not, I mean, it's just time pass, and someone has just conducted a seminar just to earn money, then there will be a full refund, right? So I don't think, once again, anyone would have the courage to say that, because they can receive multiple queries saying that refund my money, right? Even if someone like the seminar, and that person can still ask for the refund, right? Like his purpose is also solved, and he is also getting the money back. So obviously that can happen, but I'll not ask any question. If you write me an email that, yeah, I don't like the seminar, so yeah, obviously you can get the complete refund, right? I'll not ask you, no, what is wrong, I think I have conducted good seminars. I'm not going to say that. So you can join the seminar, think about that. And I think at the end of this video, I'd like to say that, once again, the same quote: if you want to be best, you need paper. But along with that, if you are just stuck on paper, you will only be the first guy, maybe, right? But if you want to be best, you have to augment your paper with knowledge. And these are the ways that you can. I am not saying these are the only way, this is the only way, but this is one of the way. And you can augment your knowledge, and you can develop that mindset that, yeah, I have to, you know I have to build myself in this way. And just try to give 8 hours one day, and see if it works out for you. If it doesn't work out for you, then maybe in the future you need not attend anything, right? So but there is no harm in trying, especially when you are getting the refund, right? So in the description section, you will have all the details. So I hope the clear winner between paper and knowledge is obviously knowledge, right? If you have knowledge, you can do anything, right? You don't need to clear paper, but you can do anything, right? You can, with the actual knowledge, even without clearing any paper, if you are going to apply that actual knowledge in trading, you would be a millionaire and you'd be a crorepati much faster than a person who have cleared the actual paper, right? And that way you will also have the financial independence, the time independence, and you can also take care of your body, workout, etc., etc., right? Need I say more? So I think I'll stop this video here. If you are feeling interested, so please watch out my video for that seminar in the description section. Other details would also be there. So yeah, all the best and see you in future video. Happy New Year to everyone once again. Bye.